Hello and welcome to Yard Goat Media. This is our first episode unboxing of the Broadway Limited 5-car heavyweight passenger car set. I have here both the early 1930s and late 1940s sets here. We can go ahead and start getting these unboxed. Go ahead and start with this one here. Is the late 1940s era Quaker City with this guy. Go inside here. We took a quick look at these earlier. Go ahead and pull all these cars out. Start off here, showing off. This is the observation car here. We have 3 coach cars. 1, 2, 3, and 1 coach combine car. Broadway Limited cars, they have little touch features to handle the lights, so we'll show that off in a little bit later. But here's the combine car. Go ahead and see, wrapping a little bit of piece of plastic. We'll pull this piece of plastic off here. You can see this car has some wonderful details all over to it. It's got that dark blue or dark brown Pensy color. It's got some wonderful details here underneath. Plenty of detail. That was really wonderful. I know in the past probably would struggle with undercar detail, but these here are excellently well done. Let's see here. There's that front end here. Again, wonderful detail on the bulkheads. Go through here. Let me go ahead, put this up onto our test track real quick. Let's grab another car. Show off one of these. One of the coach cars. Again, lovely paint scheme. Beautiful. Love. See if I can focus there. The bulkhead details there. Underbody details, all fantastic and wonderful. Beautiful detail there. All the pipe work. Some molded in, but lots of separately applied details. So it's wonderful there. It's that end bulkhead there. Through here. That's amazing and wonderful. Let's get this up here. And this one, this coach car here, came with some separate coupler systems. It's interesting. Okay, so instead of doing the traditional coupler style, if you wanted to do these hooks instead, they give you these options so you can put them in there and place that. My guess is that way you can have a much closer connection between the cars, which I think would be some wonderful detail to them. And we also have some extra air brake hoses as well. Let's go ahead and get this observation car out of the box. I will admit I did open this one up myself at home. So apologies for that. One thing I want to show here on this, so this car has a bunch of extra lights here. So you have blink end light, marker lights, interior lights, and under-car inspection lights. So we'll show off all of those on the layout in a little bit. Get this one here. And take a look here again. Another wonderful paint job. I do love the actual painted chairs. I don't know how well you guys can see them pretty well there, but they do have some separately painted people here. I'll have to add some people to this car on another date. I'll probably make a video for that. Here you can see the end lights, so those will look really cool once the train's on the tracks. from there. Again, lots of beautifully separately applied details underneath the car. And I do love the end detail in this car here, showing off all those extra roof details compared to the other cars. I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna go ahead and get the rest of these cars and the 1930 set unboxed. You can try to see if there's any comparisons between the two beyond just the paint. So catch you in a little bit. All right, so I got the two different sets out on our testing programming track here at the Pasadena Model Railroad Museum. Originally my plan was just to do a quick overview, but I've noticed that these the 30 sets have quite a bit of a difference between the two, so we'll go ahead and show these off as well separately. So they have the much brighter color, big ones here. They have a ton of different roof detail here between the sets. I believe that's for the heating systems. The one thing I really love is the separately painted tanks on these cars underneath. You can see here this shell has a bit of little gaps there. That's just for maintenance and stuff like that. Different separate truck details. Again, plenty of bulkhead details on side. Fully done interiors, painted. So these are ready for passengers, which I'll probably go do in a separate video. Again, bulkhead details here. I'll go through in here in the roof on this one. So this is the combine car. Take a look here at the passenger car. So again, beautifully detailed, beautifully painted. You have the actual Pensy burgundy with that red, I always called it lipstick, paint detail to it. All the roof details here. Separately applied tanks, with some molded in pipe detail, but plenty of separately applied detail all along. Bulkhead details. All right, and then lastly we have the observation car here. Weighs quite a bit more. We'll do weights here in a little on the screen, so you can right now. You can see plenty of under tank details. Again, I love the paint; it just adds a nice little contrast to it. You can see the two end marker lights. Lots of roof detail, bulkhead detail, fully painted interiors. All right, so I'm gonna get these cars weighed. You should see those numbers already. But let's go ahead and get these down onto the layout and see how they do. All right, before we go down the track, actually, we're going to go ahead and use the club's test track just to make sure that everything in the cars are within standard. So, first test we have here is just a little track to make sure they're free rolling. That is not super well free rolling, to be honest. Let's go ahead and double check coupler heights. Down. It's a little high on this side. Checking that side, again a little high. Let's go ahead here and show this off. So you guys can see here, coupler heights are a little bit off where they should be, fortunately on both sides. So, let's see here. Let's test out a couple more cars while we're at it. Let's check here. Get the camera to focus. And that is much better. That one's definitely spot on to where it should be. Let's check this side. That one also, maybe a small smell, but good enough right there. So that's pretty good. Okay, so for some final details and thoughts on this, also known as the GOAT notes, we can look at some of the details in this car here. Things to note that I've seen so far is that with the couplers, the standard couplers, there is a lot of inconsistency in the gap between the spacings. I will probably go through and replace those with the special couplers that they provide. However, I have noticed that some of the cars do not couple well to other cars very well. So in order to build a nice train, I had to go through and actually swap around and say, okay, this car, I gotta take it and pull it apart and rotate it around to this side, and that worked better, and so forth. So that's been one note that I found that's a little bit disappointing on these cars. Other thing is, as far as I can tell, there's no way to turn the lights off in the coach cars. They are on. They are always on. That's how that is. There was no pamphlet paper thing that came with the cars, so I don't know if there's something I'm missing on that end, but as far as I could tell, I tried touching along the top surfaces, couldn't find anything onto it. Otherwise, cars ran really well across the entire layout. Had no issues at all outside of them decoupling multiple times. The thing is related to that whole coupler issue that I mentioned before. So a bit disappointing, but overall these cars do seem to perform pretty well. Overall, I am very happy with these cars. I hope to do a really comparison come this summer when Scale Trains re-releases the MTH heavyweight cars. I had a set of those years ago, but had to get rid of them. So I'm very excited to get those back again and see how they compare to these Broadway Limited cars. These cars are fantastic. They're wonderful to add to your collection. They do obviously have those issues I considered. The other thing I'll note is on the coupler grabs. Of the 10 cars that we have, 8 of them had grabs that were too low that I had decided to go adjust and fix. Lastly, I would like to highlight that the cars are underweight for NMRA standards, which is disappointing for a premium passenger car. This is Yargo Media, and now we'll run onto some trains running. All right, welcome back. We're now on the layout. The cars on there, I have the 1930s era there and the 1940s over there. Currently I have it hooked up to a brass locomotive that's still in work, so ignore that's shiny and wires and such and parts are missing. But that's just for today's demo. First off, we'll take a quick look here, showing off the actual cars here. So you can kind of see that each car is lit. I know it's a bit hard to see. Let's see if I can make it a little bit easier to see. I see inside there. Coach cars are very well lit and bright. Let's see here, look. Okay, so for operation of this car here, tap over here, you can see it turning on the blind end lights here. Turning on and off. If we go back over here, let's see if I can get you guys a good angle of it. Over to tap there, you can see the inspection lights there, turning on and off. And over here is the main cab car lights there, turning on and off. That's also true if I were to go over to the combine car here. Tapping here turns those lights on and off. So what we're gonna do now is I'm gonna go ahead and couple up these cars. What I'm gonna do here, just to make sure we have some a decent train length, is I'm gonna combine the coach cars of this train to the coach cars of the 1930 set. So we'll have those intermixed together, and then we'll get this running on the layout. All right, now that the cars are all coupled together, we're gonna go ahead and get on out of here. But first, we'll have the yard go ahead and collect those 2 extra cars down the line.